Hello everyone. In this video, you'll learn how to create the foundation of the greenery chandeliers. You will need the black grid, chain, needle nose pliers, assorted greenery, zip ties, and lights. For spaces with high ceilings, we'll be using chain to suspend the grid, setting it at the top of the backdrops. Determine how far down from your store's ceiling the grid needs to hang, and make 5 lengths of chain to fit that measurement. Use the pliers to open the lengths on the chain where you want the break. Take a moment to ensure they are all correct and uniform in length. Place track hooks in the ceiling where each of the 4 corners of the grid will be, and add 1 more to support the middle. Laying the grid against the wall helps to get the spacing right, but you can also slide the hooks as needed while hanging. Use the open link at the end of the chain to slip it onto the track hook. At the lower end, add an S-hook to the last link and bend the upper curve closed to secure it. Next, lift the grid up and hang it on the lower curve of the back S-hooks. Check to make sure nothing has come unhooked as you go. Use the middle chain as a temporary support if needed. Once the back hooks are on the grid, use pliers to close the curve. This will prevent the hooks from slipping out as you work. Swing the other side of the grid up and repeat this process on the front corners and the middle chain. With the grid hung and stable, it's time to begin adding greenery. If your grid drops down from the ceiling, it will have greenery on both the top and the bottom. This includes the sprigs as well as the base garlands. Begin covering the grid with the base garlands. Use zip ties to secure it as you work and trim away the excess zip tie tails. The idea is to create an asymmetrical arrangement that is thick and lush at the outer end and tapers off as it extends into the window. Continue adding the garland, doubling it back alongside the first pass, about 2 squares apart. Fluff as you go, making sure the whole front edge of the grid is masked by the greenery. Notice the back part of the grid is not covered on the tapered side. Once the first layer is in place, use a piece of the base garland to bulk up some areas on the more lush side. Do this on top and bottom if the grid drops down from the ceiling. Since the goal is to add volume to the base towards one side, drop this garland down from the grid a few inches by connecting it to the first layer of garland. Use the wires inside the little branches to connect them to each other by twisting them together securely. Fluff all of the base layer before proceeding. Now let's add some drama by using the longer pine sprigs and pine garland. You can begin to fluff the sprigs before install. When you're ready to hang, create a hook by folding the wire end and then bending it into a curve. Pass the hook up through the base layer and hang it on the grid. Straighten any kinks in the main wire and fluff as needed. Curving the branches upward gives a fresh and natural look. Create 3 to 5 of these longer moments on the lusher side of the greenery, shortening them as they approach the tapered end. Be sure to step outside the window periodically during install to check the overall look. Use the assorted sprigs to add the final layer of greenery. These pieces are great for added texture and for distorting the rectangular shape of the grid hidden underneath. Be sure to exaggerate the tapered end of the greenery and break up the straight edges by positioning some sprigs to hang off and reach outside the grid. Secure them by feeding the wire end into the grid and weaving it through a couple of the squares. Zip ties and the wired parts of the base garland can also be used for extra security. Once all of the sprigs are in, assess the composition before adding final touches to the greenery. Add the lights by working them into the garland and securing them with the wired branches. Finally, use the gold paint to accent the edges of a few eucalyptus leaves. Note that this treatment is only used on the eucalyptus. Now the greenery is looking lush and ready to decorate. Follow these same steps to install the greenery for AS interiors and for Revival windows. In the next video, join Lauren as she installs the next luxurious layer of our contemporary chandelier.